Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our monthly fireside chat with the Atlatec team. Today, one of our colleagues, Julius, Atlatec CTO, is joining us to discuss the latest automotive news. Hello, Julius.
Hello.
And I would like to start off with Tesla. They've again made quite a bold move by completely removing radar sensors from future Tesla models. Henning, what are your thoughts about this idea?
Yeah, it seems really that we are talking about Tesla almost every month here in our fireside chat, but this is really newsworthy information, so it's a good talking point here for today. Yeah, I mean, being in a company ourselves here as a team that focuses heavily on computer vision and doing the bulk of the work in data processing from imagery and vision sensors, it feels natural to extract a lot of information from the vision sensors, but at the same time removing radar is something which does surprise me a little bit, because also vision sensors do suffer from certain effects. If it's pitch black, it's very difficult to do something with computer vision. Likewise, I mean, if the cameras are blinded by low sunlight, for example, it also becomes, let's say, challenging, right? It's not impossible. And also, complementary. So everything that a vision sensor is very good at is something that a radar sensor is not so good at, and vice versa. So I was always a big fan of like combining the two, and then as a consequence of combining the two, getting rid of the LiDAR, but now also removing radar. Let's see how that goes. So yeah, I don't know, Julius, what do you think?
Yeah, I see that the same as you do. I always thought radar and LiDAR are so simple and kind of physical sensors that kind of directly observe the quantity that you're interested in, like a distance or even a speed in the case of radar. While with cameras, there's so much processing behind that, and it's such a kind of mathematical or algorithmical sensor that I doubt that it's a good idea to solely rely on this, especially in safety critical applications. I mean, there's different ways of autonomous driving, right? Tesla is more going down the, I'd say, the gadgety way. I mean, it's a pure convenience feature, and it's not really autonomous driving if you ask an insurer or a law person. Uh, but there should also be kind of safety critical autonomous driving. And would you really hit the brakes, do an evasive maneuver based on, a camera image that goes through a neural network?
Hmm.
I mean, for sure, vision has done huge leaps in the last years through the advent of the neural networks and deep learning, and this seems to not have translated so much to the other sensors, but I still think that radars and lidars are strong in some fields where vision just can't compete.
Yeah, I like how this discussion, is taking turns here. And I think we have already, after 2 minutes in, kind of, touched on the core question of autonomous driving. If this evolution path and, coming from the consumer side, let's say the Tesla way, will that ever emerge into fully autonomous driving or fully automated driving, in the sense that you have just mentioned, capturing all the safety cases, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's a debate that will not ultimately decide here today. But since we have you on the call here, Julius, what do you think? Do you think eventually, let's say in another decade or so, do you think one can reach safe autonomy in the sense of level 4 autonomy, not a steering wheel, with these low cost sensors over time? What do you think?
Well, I just can't say that I'm not seeing it happen at the moment. I mean,
Mm.
at the moment, most development seems to take place on this, well, comfort or convenience end. And I think that's how autonomous driving will realize at some point. We will just have so many assistance systems that will feel like autonomous driving. Um, I think the kind of better way would be to come from the safety end and kind of first build a car that you cannot crash anymore. And if you have that kind of car, you might as well put it into the hands of a stupid AI, right? And
Nicely put.
but I mean, at the moment, what functions do we have? We have emergency braking, but do we even have something that does an evasive maneuver to avoid a crash autonomously?
Yeah, I think the most simple thing is always slam on the brakes and that's it, right? I mean, that's also a good idea in many cases.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, well, we will keep an eye on how that develops for Tesla, and we will update you guys in our upcoming videos. Last year, as far as I remember, you guys were speculating about the future of DeepMap. And I think last week the news dropped that the NVIDIA acquired DeepMap. Just curious how you guys could predict this.
Well, I think it's not so surprising. So I think the penny has finally dropped that autonomous driving will be map-based, and everyone who seriously does this, well, must acquire now how to do this, right? And what I think has failed is attempts to kind of push the mapping business to specialized companies like TomTom. And here, I think development of autonomous driving and maps for autonomous driving must somehow go hand in hand. And yeah.
Yeah, I can agree to this. And you know, the question how we could predict this was, I think Tom and I speculating about this was easy because we predicted a gazillion different things, and one thing actually came true. So that was an easy one. But Tom, what's your take on this?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, that's how we are, how we reach the right conclusions here by just reaching the wrong one, not more. So yeah, absolutely agree. It's just what Julius said. Everyone seems to agree by now that HD maps are essential to actual autonomous driving, anything level 3 and above. Everyone other than Tesla, that is. So another bold choice on their end. And since NVIDIA has really proven over the last few years that they are serious about their footprint in the ADAS niche, this is not surprising. Since they already were a principal investor in DeepMap before, the question which company they would choose also not very surprising. Yeah? So it's nice to be right once in a while with all this guesswork.
Yeah. And when it comes to maps, you know, typically when my answer is really short, I say no maps, no autonomy, period, right? So that's it. So, and NVIDIA and DeepMap, I think that goes well together. So it's a good choice.
Make that your tagline on LinkedIn.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Well, and in the conclusion of this call, I would like to thank everyone who managed to join our recent webinar, ADAS Testing with Objective KPIs. For those who couldn't join us live, please feel free to watch the recording in both English and German. I will attach a link in the description above. Henning, you as one of the panelists, could you please say a couple of words? What was the webinar about and what people can expect, those ones who couldn't join live?
Yeah, thanks, Hannah, for organizing it. It was pretty successful. We did it with our partners at the University of Applied Science in Kempten and M Dynamics and Genesis. There was a teamwork, so to say, and we looked into methods of how we can use and leverage our 3D maps as a ground truth to test certain functions in advanced driver assistance systems and actually put numbers to how these perform, which allows our customers to actually, you know, continuously monitor their performance and improve over time. And like you mentioned, we do have the recordings, and it can be downloaded from our website.
Great. Well, thank you guys for joining the call, and thank you our followers for watching these videos. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions what we could talk about in our next call, please feel free to leave the comments. We're always open to your ideas. And we'll see you in 1 month exactly.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.